And hello. Welcome to the E.C. Henry After Dinner Social. This is an invitation for Taylor and her boyfriend Joe Alwyn. I've been posting a lot of stuff on Twitter and Facebook to Taylor, and also a little bit to Joe. I don't know much about him, so anyway, I recognize that that's the boyfriend. So I know this is going to be weird. So come on in, Joe. You're welcome. Whatever I do with Taylor, if you're her boyfriend, you are welcome by proxy and by connection. So anyway, I just wanted to. I know this is going to be a little weird, but what are you going to do? It's going to be weird. We're separated by a lot of miles, so just trying to bridge it the best we can. So anyway, what I wanted to do today was discuss romantic comedy. So I guess we could start off with a drink. So I did bring drinks. If you're going to have an after dinner social, you might as well have a drink, right? So we'll give the first drink here to Joe. So I don't know what kind of tot Joe likes to drink. What I drink is primarily amaretto after dinner. That's what I like. It's kind of an almond flavor. So cheers to you, Joe. You scored one of the best looking girls in the whole wide world. Respect. Boop. Good job, buddy. Clink. From England. That's pretty cool. So I'll give you that, Joe, and I'll also give you a mint, an after dinner mint. So hope you feel welcome. Taylor, I don't know what you like. I did get you. You can have a tot, of course, as well. I don't know what you like to drink. I have seen a few photos of you drinking alcohol, but I don't know. So we'll just leave that up. So whatever your preference is, I'm not sure. Like I said, I like amaretto. That's what I would drink. So we'll give you that. And if you want an after dinner sweet, I don't know if you're into that or not, but this is one of my favorites. It's a Jolly Rancher. I can't remember. I had a cherry and a watermelon. So there's that. And I don't know if I had the watermelon. This is the watermelon. This is my favorite. So this is the watermelon. This is what I eat. So I got a whole bin of these by my desk. This is where I'm taking this after dinner social. This is my writing area. I kind of jazz things up. See behind me, I got some candles. If you look down here, I even got a fire going. Hey, check this shit out. This is pretty crazy. I got a little fire here and everything, so we're kind of cozy, romantic cozy, so I hope I'm getting you guys in the mind for romantic comedies. We'll be talking about those in just a minute, so we'll have a little after-dinner snack. I got water for myself. Oh, boy. Tell you I need it. I'm not real good at this. Us writers, we like to just do things in secret, never talk to anybody, and that's kind of how we roll. We'll get into that a little bit more about my mindset. So anyway, I kind of wanted to get with Taylor. She's been looking at Twitter or whatever. I have been posting a lot this page. It's just my title page for Kathy Smith, Conquers to Post High School. I really want her to read that. But, whatever. I can't make her read it. I can't make Joe read anything I got. I can't make you guys do this. It's something I would hope you'd want to do. And even if you don't want to do it, just see, what's this goofy guy doing? He's doing this, blah, 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 blah. Let's at least see what it is. But, I don't know if I'll get you guys to that point or not, or trusting, or if that's where you're at, maybe it isn't. But I'll describe some of my romantic comedies, like Kathy Smith, Conquers to Post High Schools, what I've written recently. I just finished a second draft of that, so I figured now it's ready to show. It's good enough. So about a plucky 14-year-old girl, and she's got all these ambitions. She wants to change her high school. She wants to bring her parents back together, her divorced parents, and she wants to get this senior to be her first. That's one of her goals. So you're kind of going through her play. She's a very aggressive girl. Kathy Smith, she's a pouncer. She goes after it. So if you're looking for an aggressive protagonist, a teen one, I got it. I wrote it. I tried to center a lot of this off Taylor Swift. How I described her on page 2. It was right off one of her songs, I Knew You Were Trouble, the female version. That's how I describe 14-year-old Kathy Smith is, off one of Taylor's songs. So anyway, I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of raunchy, so, it's not your traditional, English romantic comedy like Hugh Grant. It's not that. It's a little different. It's a little more Judd Apatow, but I think it's funny. I think it appeals. The one thing you do when you bring in that kind of humor, the kind of physical humor and kind of little raunchy stuff, you bring in the guys. One of the things with romantic comedies is a lot of them are really, they got a bad barometer where they're just for girls. I don't know about Joe. I don't know if you like romantic comedies. I would think you're from England. You'd have some kind of a bend to it. Probably you're probably way better with the ladies than me. We'll get into that shortly. Street cred. I know you're better with the ladies than me. You prove that. So anyway, you got a lot of street cred with me already. So I'm one of your fans. I hope you do well. I saw some of your credits online. I'm like, wow, this guy's he's about ready to burst. Sometimes you're doing that. You're just kind of stacking those rolls up, and then all of a sudden, boom, there you go. Now you're a big headliner. I hope that happens for you if that's your goal, or I'm not sure. Maybe it's something different. But anyway, yeah, so I wrote Kathy Smith, Conquers DuBose High School. Also wrote So Go Back and Get Her. That's more of a traditional romantic comedy set in Jacksonville Beach. It's described that before, the Big Four, on a previous video to Taylor. But it was a lot of fun to write too. I hope she wants to read that. I mean, besides that, I've written Cupid Got Stupid, Cupid's Helpers. I wrote An American Princess. It's about a writer and this girl who the girl really loves this writer, and this writer goes on to become big. And anyway, it's kind of her struggle because the writer ends up going after someone real famous and has his heart set on that, and this girl's trying to win him over. Anyway, I think you'd love a lot of the romantic comedies I've written. I mean, there's a lot, like the romantic comedies primarily do appeal to women, so I won't, it's something, but guys can like them too. These days they're grafting in more stuff like 40-Year-Old Virgin. Oh my God, that was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys saw that. I liked it, but really, really funny. So I write romantic comedies, and you wonder, well, why does this guy write romantic comedies? All right, I'm gonna lay out a lot of stuff for you guys, so you at least know who I am. My goal in all these videos and the stuff I'm doing is never to put the pressure on you. I mean, you can always say, we don't like you. You're out of here. That's life. That's welcome to being an unknown. There's a lot of barriers in Hollywood. Barriers to anything. Most people that are in the industry, they want to work with people in the industry, and I get it. And you guys are probably both that way. If that's how you roll, that's how you roll. I mean, there's certain things you can do, and there's certain things you can't do. I can only put myself out there and hope you get a break. So one of the reasons why I was pitching so hard to Taylor was, I got a lot of stuff that if we did click, I mean, we could work together for a long, long time. I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I've written 25 scripts, and since 2001, and they're not all the same. They're not all romantic comedies. I mean, I wrote a biblical adaptation of the life of David and Saul. So some of my stuff is deep. I mean, Indians in the Ancient Plains is very deep. I love that. I mean, that's my big hitter, and I hope to sell that someday to Steven Spielberg. I won't kid you, or somebody like that. It's dinosaurs on the ancient plains, and there's a love interest. There's two rival tribes, and I could always fit it for Taylor. I could always fit Joe in. You guys can always fit in. I think the non-romantic comedy, the best script I have for both of you guys that I think that you'd fit right in is Cowboy Alien Diaries. I wrote that one, I think, in 2006, 2008, sometime in that time frame. It's a while ago. But it's a story about a son of a pastor who takes his troubled wife to the Colorado frontier. And once they're there's aliens that show up and slowly start abducting their children. And the pastor has to find out, the son of the pastor has to find out, well, why is this happening? And the wife is mad at the husband for taking him there, her new husband. And she's a troubled lady. So anyway, I originally wrote that with Nicole Kidman and Bruce Willis in mind. And then later that became Naomi... what's her friend's name? Naomi. I wrote this down. Naomi Watts and Liev Schreiber. I'm sorry. Then I put them in there, but there's no reason you guys can't do it. I think you'd love it. I mean, I give it to you, and you could just run with it. That's the whole idea of screenwriters. If I were to sell it, it's out of my control. Then it would be you working with a director. So here's the thing. I mean, even if you don't like me, you can like my material or want to run with it. That's the thing. And maybe I'm a little bit goofy at times, He's Chimpy. He's still there.
How you doing, everybody? I'm part of this too. I'm part of this guy right here. I'm the one that made him famous. I was in his first script.
All right, I wasn't really feeling Chimpy today. I'm sorry. I'm in a romantic comedy mood. He was my first romantic comedy. Just so you know, for years, my go-to girl was Jennifer Love Hewitt. Shoot, I was envisioning her in everything I did for about 7 years. Everything's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Everything, give it up for Chimpy. The main lady in that, Stacey Dutchman. That was Jennifer Love Hewitt. I was thinking about all the time. And later, some of the romantic comedies, and I queried her. I sent her these letters, and hey, I'm Eric Hendrickson, blah blah blah, or E.C. Henry, Eric Hendrickson. That's my pseudonym is E.C. Henry. My real name's Eric C. Hendrickson. So I sent her this letter. You never hear back from these people. I sent some letters to Drew Barrymore, and I got the best rejection letter from her. And that's just life. I mean, when you're on the outside looking in, they don't know who you are. They want to deal with agents and all that. You get used to it. It's hard to break in, and nobody wants to take a chance on somebody. So anyway, so I wrote all these movies, and I'd love to connect with you if you went on my site and read some of my log lines. Maybe one of them would catch with you. Maybe you'd be interested in it. I don't know. Joe, I got a lot of stuff you could connect with too. There's no reason why we can't work together. So it's, I'm primarily going after Taylor, but I know you're an actor, so, dude, if you want them, they're here, check it out, I'm a human being too. You said, I was reading your IMDb profile, and one of them said, I want to be human or something to that extent. I went, wow, that's different. So, I'm a human too, I just make mistakes. I'm just a little goofy. So anyway, I wrote a lot of romantic comedies. You probably wonder, well, why did you get into romantic comedies? Well, my first romantic comedy I fell in love with was While You Were Sleeping. So I don't know how familiar you are with that. It's Sandra Bullock, about, when did you do that? 1993, 1994. Anyway, I was living in Boise, Idaho. At the time, I was working a robotics technician job in a place called SEP Global Technologies. They have since gone out of business. They used to make these robotic arms that picked things up in chemical baths and moved them around. And I worked in the robotics. I was never really a good electronic technician. I mean, I fixed a few things, but there's guys who were really smart and way smarter than me. I mean, I kind of always was forcing it. I went to school for electronics, and in the early 90s, hey, this is the big thing, electronics. So, I jumped into it, went for it, and I got some good jobs for a while in the 90s, and then that stuff dried up, and we were doing warehouse work. And anyway, when I was in Boise, Idaho, I fell in love with this movie called While You Were Sleeping. So I don't know if you've seen it or not. If you have not seen it, you gotta see it. It's one of the best movies. I love it. I watch it all the time. It's Sandra Bullock and Pullman. It's Bill Pullman is in it. He's the love interest, and it is so funny. It's got this funny guy who's putting on women's shoes who thinks he's this tough guy, and it's just awesome. I love that movie. The complement of characters in it are genius. Anyway, it's centered in Chicago. It's While You Were Sleeping. And I was wondering, when I was living my life there, I was lonely, I was living by myself, and I went and saw this movie like 6 or 7 times. And I just fell in love with it, just with these, and then it clicked on me why I was. It's because I wasn't dating, I wasn't doing all this stuff, and romantic comedies filled a void in my life. And I didn't know it till later. You just kind of do it. Why are you doing this? You're just kind of diving in the same pool over and over and over again. Splash, splash. You need it. There's certain things a man in his heart needs, and one of them is love. And I've been not having any of that for the longest time. So anyway, I figured it out later. You wonder why you're doing things you're doing, and I wasn't going on dates, so I just started watching that romantic comedy. And then later in the 2000s, you had How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And there was a flurry of really good ones for a while, from about 2001 to about 2006 or so, and then they dried up. I think the last really good one romantic comedy I liked is Dan in Real Life. It has Steve Carell in it, and it's about a widower who goes to a family outing, and he meets this girl, and they develop a romantic attachment at this family get-together, and it's really awkward for the most part, but it is so good. It's got Emily Blunt in this scene where she's at this bar and she's dancing, and she decides she's going to get all risque and try to impress this guy. It's so good. It's Emily Blunt really before she was Emily Blunt. I think it's one of her best roles. Anyway, it's worth seeing just for that. Steve Carell is phenomenal in it, and so is Juliana Bouchette, I think is her name. She's a French actress. Haven't seen her much. Anyway, it's really good. If you've never seen it, see it. So, I love romantic comedies. I love really good ones. I love ones that are funny and kind of, have some humor to it. I'm not a big, we're going to set up this big kiss romance thing. I do that in my scripts. If you read my scripts, there are big romantic moments in them, but if you study the genre long enough, you're going to find out that the real kicker for romantic comedies isn't love, isn't the big bloop. There's kiss bomb. Remember that from last video? Mwah, bloop. I can do that. Anyway, it isn't the big kiss scene. It's what you're always building up to it, but you're building up to it primarily through character pain. If you watch enough of these shows, I mean, these guys go through hell, man. 40-year-old virgin. The guys constantly, they're playing pranks on him all the time, and it's just in all of them. You suffer a lot, and I figured it out. And why are they doing this? The girls, what they want to see, they want the the guy finally kisses the girl, but you've got to build up to that. You just can't do it right away. At least not in a movie. Maybe I wouldn't want to live a romantic comedy in real life. They're just you don't want all that pain going into it. But that's why I don't know. I figured how could I write a romantic comedy? I got like zero romantic experience. I mean, I had a couple of flurries of dates when I was like 19, 20, something like that. And then after that, there was nothing. I mean, I went a long time. I mean, there would be occasionally a girl here or there that somebody would try to, point me in their direction, but it never worked out. Anyway, my romantic, it was dead. It was dead for a long time. Once you get older, it gets worse. So, but you never stop thinking about it. You never, even though your love life is dead. I mean, mine was pretty dead. It's been dead my whole life, basically, except for a little brief flurry when I was in my early 20s. Your heart is still, it wants what it wants. I was never meant to be single, so I was like, it's just, you don't do that to girls, but sometimes you just want to make that connection, and you do goofy things, and things that normal people aren't doing. People that are romantically engaged all the time don't do. And today in society, they just want to brand people. You're goofy. You're this, that, and the other. They never consider people's hearts. They never consider their trajectory, how hard it is to make a connection to somebody. So anyway, I got a lot of pain, so I use some of that, in my romantic comedies. They're not real tear jerkers. I don't really write that kind of stuff, but I try to be funny, and more funny than romantic. I put more effort into that. That's for sure. Being goofy and putting some stuff out there that may make people laugh, because that's what that's what I like. When I go see a romantic comedy, I want to laugh a few times. And, you want a romance and stuff in there as well, but if it's centered the whole time, that's all you got. I mean, it's like a Hallmark, and I don't write those. So if you're expecting that, you'll be disappointed. But I do try to write funny, so more funny than romantic. But I do value romance and all that, and big moments. It's one nice thing about romance, writing that, like Sleepless in Seattle. I sent you, I don't know if you got this, I sent this on your Twitter about EC on the West Coast and you on the East Coast, and I just playing, just because of our distance, you try to spark that, what would it think, Joe, I'm not trying to piss you off, you won the princess's heart, not me, so, you're golden. You got nothing to worry about, as long as she loves you, that's all that matters, You guys have a history. I got, like, nothing. So anyway, let's just leave that alone. But, I've been alone most of my life, so I thought about romance. That's why I wrote so many stories. That's why I was able to put so much of my heart in it, because my life sucked. I mean, this was bad. I'd go home, and I was alone all the time. Anyway, it was a lot of sorrow. It was, nobody's fault, I guess, but mine. I thought about it a long time. The heart knows its own sorrow. I got a lot of sorrow in me. So if you ever got to around me, it's inevitable you'd see that. I'm trying now to work on the dancing and da-da-da-da-da. I could do that. did that years ago. I worked on dance skits and stuff, and the dance moves and stuff. I'm working on. I'm gonna do Getaway Car for Taylor. Maybe by Friday I'll have it ready. So, that's what That's the goal. Friday, have it video of it made. So we'll get playing and jumping and jiving. Here I am, 51 years old, trying to get in shape again, and I'm pretty happy with what's happened so far in this Taylor Swift project. I don't know how much weight I've lost, but man, I haven't been drinking at all. It's a rarity for me. I mean, I was drinking quite heavily before. And I was just bored. What do you do when you don't have friends? You don't have places to go. You don't have girls. And, you can't even go to church. You can't do anything. You got to do something. The heart has to do something. So anyway, I'm trying to fill it with better things. So we're working on that. So pray for me. I am a Christian, so I love the Lord with all my heart. So I don't try to factor that too much into my scripts. I mean, it does not too much of an accent. I try to have some redeeming quality about my stuff. So it's not just all entertainment. It's it has some substance to it as well. So I think you'll notice that if you do start reading my work, Joe and Taylor, that there is some substance to it. It's not fluff. Most of my scripts, took a long time for me to write. I dedicated quite a bit of my time and energy into it, and they represent me. I didn't write so much personal. Some stuff was personal. You graft it in. What you do a little bit of grafting. It's not all my life experiences or this or that. It's a variety of things. It's what I'm interested in, and what I think I can pull off. And sometimes you challenge yourself. You write something out of your comfort zone. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know where I'm coming from. I wish you the best. I am your fans. I like to screw around a little bit, just be kind of goofy. It's more fun that way. Try to bring some liveliness into people's lives. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you guys, say hi, have a little social, let you know where I'm coming from. So if I act stupid, like if I act a certain way towards Taylor, that's loneliness for me, man. My heart is, if you saw it, it's like a tree with the roots out, and it is ready to connect to somebody, to a girl. And I don't mean to, I don't know the first thing about it. I've never been in a room with Taylor Swift. I don't know what she's like. All you can know is, what somebody is like on the surface level until you sit there and talk with them and interface with them and see what they're really like. But, if I've acted unbecomingly, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just kind of where I'm at right now. Especially being out here in Washington, the girls out here are really kind of cold and distant. And it's hard to find a girl even out here to find his romantic interest. I was just thinking about that. I was like, God, I got no romantic interest out here. What the heck? So it's kind of weird. So I'm in a weird place. It's like you want to get somebody, but in the same place, you're not finding those people. Anywhere. I mean, even in you can say, "Hey, EC, you need to find someone right where you're at, right there, da. Well, you know what? You hit a certain age, and all those girls have moved on. I mean, they have families of their own, and a lot of times when I'm meeting, divorced women, and they got a bunch of kids, and it's just kind of weird. Anyway, the older you get, people have lived their lives too. It's not just you; it's them too. So anyway, pray for me because that's something that E.C. Henry wants. He wants to have a girlfriend finally. It'd be great. I don't know. That's why I think I like writing romantic comedies. It's a way of giving yourself a life that you never had. I don't know. Maybe you can't relate to that. I mean, especially Taylor. I don't know about you, Joe. Taylor, I know, has had a really great life. I don't know all of her stuff, but you see all these boyfriends. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I take that in a heartbeat, So, I think most people would. I think that's one of the big attractions factors that you have is, wow, you got all these guys. It's like, wow, you've had some great experiences, That's really cool. I hope, Joe, you have the same. I don't know what you're kind of a black box to me. I don't know. I just know you're Taylor Swift's boyfriend now, but, I don't know what your past was. I hope it was a good one in England or, growing up. So, I try not to be too creepy or anything. Just I want you to realize that E.C. Henry is a very lonely kid. I mean, recently I've just been crying myself to bed. It's just, God, how do I get out of this? So, anyway, one of the goals of all of these videos, I wanted to give you guys more cards that you would at least know who I am. I don't ask much of you. I don't ask anything of you. You're living your life. You're doing what you want to do, and and may God bless you. I hope that you become a superstar. Joe, you get great roles. Taylor, if you want to be a movie, or excuse me, into music, it's great. I just read today that you were going to get the Super Bowl deal, so that's great. If you want to do that, or write new albums or recreate your old stuff, if that's your great love. I mean, some people, that's their thing. That's all they like to do is just make music. If that's where you're at, that's where you're at. Just slip me a line, say, you see, I'm not interested in movies at all, especially from you. You can take it. I've been rejected many, many times. So, it's years ago, I'll tell you, I thought I had Kate Hudson back when she was hot. I mean, she was in around 2010. I had her assistant, somebody claimed to be her assistant. Anyway, she agreed to take one of my scripts and present it to her, and they did, I guess. Anyway, it took me a year to find out they weren't interested. So, it's the closest I've ever gotten to a romantic comedy sale. So it's kind of pitiful, but it's hard. Most people, they don't care what you've written or anything. They just want people they know in the industry, and they have ways. I went to Ridley Scott a while back, and I went to his office or called him up, and I said, "Hey, I got some scripts for Ridley." And they said, "Oh, who referred you?" And I went, "Well, nobody." And I had a choice there. I could either lie. I decided a long time ago I'm not going to be a liar. I went to a screenwriting convention, and there was this guy who was just talking about all the lies he had to tell in the industry. I said, screw that, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be an honest person, at least as honest as I can be. And I'm not going to just outright lie to people. They do, I did this, that, and the other. I don't do that. I try not to do that. Sometimes you feel pressure to lie. I mean, it's just life. But I'm trying to resist that as much as I can. So now you guys got a little bit better picture of who I am. So I'll post this to Taylor's Twitter and put this on a couple sites that I have. I mean, I'm not embarrassed of who I am. I am who I am. I just try to reach out, and like I said, I tried to give you guys as many cards about me as I could, and at the same time not prying into your own life, because it's your private life, whatever you guys want to do, and what you want released to the public and what you don't. I respect that. I'm not going to try to release things that you don't feel comfortable doing. So anyway, I guess we'll close the video now. One final salute to you guys. Thanks for being good sports and watching the video. God bless you, and hope to talk to you soon.